ProWrestlingSheet.com.
So yeah, the last episode of Being the Elite ended with the tease of you guys potentially facing off with the New Day in some kind of a match. I didn't know if you had any updates on that, or if you could see possibly that rivalry rolling over into New Japan.
The scene was what it was. It was just a wow. Wouldn't it be cool if ... question mark. All of us want the match. You know what I mean? It's not just us, myself and the Young Bucks. The New Day wants the match bad as well, and we just through a video game broke all kinds of streaming records, VOD records, and it was just us talking and playing video games. I think we've shown that we can draw some serious business between the two of us feuding, the two groups feuding, the two entities. And I think at the end of the day, dollars make sense, and if there was ever a time to kind of ease up on sort of old school us versus them mentality, this is probably the time. I think 2018 is much different than any other year in professional wrestling.
I'm going to follow up on something that you just said a minute ago. You mentioned how you think now would be a good time to kind of drop the us versus them mentality. Do you think that's something that would be good for business? Earlier in the week, Triple H sort of alluded to being open to a working relationship with New Japan in general. Is that something that you'd want to see?
Yeah, certainly. I definitely would want to see that. I think now things have kind of come full circle a little bit. Not to say that the MMA boom is completely over. It isn't. I mean, they're still doing fantastic, but there's been more interest and support for professional wrestling. And I think that nowadays, with the popularity and respect level of other sports, for example, basketball or baseball, the World Cup, for example, or soccer, anything, I feel that it wouldn't be out of place for pro wrestling to kind of stand at the same level as those sports. And I think the only way we stand a chance of doing that is if we really kind of band together and give them the best of the best and the stories and the clashes that everyone really wants to see. And, both talent pools are really deep, both in New Japan and in WWE. But the fact of the matter, unfortunately, is that most of the matchups have happened a number of times, and that if there is a dream match still available, that dream match exists outside of the walls of that promotion. So, when people talk about, who we want to see Kenny face, most of the time what I hear is not a New Japan performer. It's a performer from WWE. Who you want to see the Elite face? Most of the time people will say New Day. And I think, it goes vice versa as well. I see it all the time. I would love to see Tommaso Ciampa versus Kenny Omega or anything like that. And I think that now is a very good opportunity to kind of cash in on that, and I believe that both parties benefit. And regardless if, one party benefits more than another, both parties are still benefiting, so there's no reason not to do it. And at the end of the day, too, it's a major plus and bonus for fans. And I think, for me, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I would love wrestling to be seen and taken more seriously and to have more eyeballs on wrestling and for people just to look at wrestling kind of the way that they did when I was growing up in like the Attitude Era or even like, back in the 80s when, every athlete was larger than life and they were superheroes.
ProWrestlingSheet.com.